A simple babysitting job turns dangerous when a nearby asylum has a breakout. A known psychopath is now loose in the area, and the residence you're in falls unsafe. Make use of anything you can find in the building and steel yourself against the coming terror. Can you save your friends and yourself? Who is the mysterious Ding Dong Ditcher Ripper? And why is this house being targeted? Solo game developer Puppet Combo has a huge backlog of survival horror games. They tend to emulate the PS1 era and are soaked in the blood of slasher films from the 80s. After well over a decade of game development and finding success through itch.io and Patreon, Puppet Combo would found a publishing label to support other similar creators, Torture Star Video. The most recent addition is Ding Dong Dead by Black Eyed Priest Games. It begins in the unnamed protagonist's apartment. A letter from our parents congratulating us on the new dwelling, and a leaflet explaining our night's mission as a babysitter. With naught else but an instruction manual to leaf through, and a personal computer to load your previous saves, heading out the front door begins the evening, and transitions us to the house of the Mathesons. Arriving and meeting the parents, we're informed that we're looking after Rex, and they have a non-traditional rule arrangement.
Rex can stay up as late as he wants. We're using reverse psychology to make him want rules by not giving him any.
Plus, we're tired of being parents.
The dialogue has this uncanny and stilted nature, which is off-putting, but teases out some indirect guidance, like the windows probably aren't locked, and having too many lights on at the same time will trip the power.
Something's been going on with the fuse box.
To circumvent the shoddy electrical work, there are candles placed all throughout the building, which serve to shed the creepiest light possible. On the ground level, there is a locked door, plenty of flavor items to flip through, and a phone we can call our friends, or for pizza delivery. The kitchen has a note about the Mathesons' cat, which has apparently eaten a key. The fridge, well, take a look. Guzzling the energy drink grants 1 point of agility. One of the 5 most important stats a person can have. More agility grants quicker movement, which is a blessing given our low amount of haste. Grab the knife on the bench and then scarf down the protein bar from the cabinet below. This adds to our muscle stat, which is combat oriented and affects how much damage we deal. The phone book on the table nets you the number for the pizza place, as well as a point of moxie. Moxie is charisma, and affects your ability to communicate with people. Nobody listens to a moxieless fool. Moving into the garage, we'll find the best part of the game, pumping iron.
Yeah, buddy!
Here we'll also find the breaker box, in case we turn on too many lights, as well as a jerry can of gasoline, which is locked in a cage. There's a flashlight in one of the drawers, but we'll have to find a battery to operate it. Upstairs in this small closet, we can find a floppy disk, some bleach, and a locked hatch that seems to lead to a crawl space. We arrive at the first jump scare in the bedroom, not from the posters of the game's developer, though it is rather ominous, but from the wardrobe. This is Rex.
I got you good. You screamed like a girl, you bitch.
Rex is clearly a Chad, and you can assert yourself with a notion of violence.
I respect that. You're pretty cool.
Grab the cassette from the drawer and the TV remote from under the bed, and then heading back through the hallway, we'll find the study. Both the filing cabinet and the bookshelf are filled with hot dog related information. Opening the blinds and locking the windows will increase the brain stat. Expanding the mind is necessary to complete certain puzzles, which have a minimum threshold of wits. The main bedroom has another jump scare, though a minor one. Here we'll also find a journal with some lore of the mother. Despite learning the names of her husband Kenneth, and even the cat Mr. Jinkies, the wife's name is never revealed. The journal touches on her powerful love and recent union to Kenneth, as well as her new life as a stepmother, but it also tells of a foreboding cloud that hangs heavy over the family and the house. Something deeply troubling happened within these very walls, and its essence still lingers. The gun case just across from the journal adds another layer to the sinister illusions in its pages. And then you find a sex ed book in the same room. Heading back downstairs for the... Despite the TV's age, we did find the remote, so let's see what's on late night TV. Whoa, hey now, we can't show any of this! Picking up the telephone, we've got a few options of who we can contact, but we'll start with Italian cuisine.
Yeah, this is Papa Joe's, where we make pies that blow your mind. This is Tony Pepperoni, what do you want?
I played it safe with pepperoni, but the toppings don't seem to affect the game.
Interesting choice. It'll be about 30 minutes, capiche?
With the pizza on its way, an emergency announcement comes over the radio.
Achtung! Achtung! Urgent news as suburban residents.
This serves up the first taste of exposition about the danger we're truly in. A riot at the local asylum has resulted in some of the patients being unaccounted for. Coincidentally, it is the 10-year anniversary of a string of killings that happened in the very neighborhood we're currently in. The perpetrator was only a child, but bludgeoned 5 people to death in a single night. They were convicted, confined to a mental hospital, and subsequently dubbed the Ding Dong Ditcher Ripper. An old newspaper in the lounge room expands on this figure and includes some of the more gruesome details of the case. Then a phone call punctuates the lingering sense of danger. Some company sounds good right about now. Hip G is our best friend and a rather wholesome individual.
Know this. Hip G is proud of his little homie.
We inform him of our location, and he responds with support.
Off the tee? Homie, you're in that sweet steak. I'll be over in 15.
Another phone number we have belongs to the lovely Hillary.
Hello?
One sexiness check later, and she too is on her way.
You're kinda corny, you know that? But yeah, we can hang out. I'll be right over.
Moments later, this hottie shows up. Not her, the pizza. Conversation with Hillary can boost your moxie, among other things. But if you're low on the fuckability scale, she'll shut you down real quick.
You're too ugly to be talking like that. What a turnoff. I'm going to do my set.
Hip G also shows up to offer reassurance.
Up!
Dating advice?
And most importantly, remember to treat the ladies with respect and dignity. Chicks love that for some reason.
He even gives us some ammunition. Now if only we could get into that gun safe. Another character on the roster arrives at the door in time.
Hello. My name is Dr. Pleasant.
He further informs us of the situation with the asylum, and will eagerly mythologize the Ding Dong Ditcher Ripper.
He is absolute evil. Can he be cured? No, not absolutely.
But is still a professional.
That would violate HIPAA. That is one beast I do not wish to trifle with.
Dr. Pleasant is one of the clearest examples of the game's inspiration, Halloween. He is similar to Dr. Samuel Loomis in fashion and obsession, though his analogies are a little more unique.
If evil was a piece of toilet paper, you damn sure he's been between your cheeks and smelling like stank. I will prescribe him the only true cure for absolute evil. A dose of 44 caliber right between the ears.
The Doctor returns to his hunt and leaves us with a head full of lore and mystery. The storm kills the power, and checking on Rex hits us with another jump scare of his design. Throughout the house, there are a handful of floppy disks that allow you to save the game on the computer. This isn't possible with the power out though. With enough points in the brains stat, you can figure out the breaker box to get the lights back on. The droning hum of fluorescent bulbs is a drop of solace in this ocean of uncertainty. With distress escalating, we'll use our moxie to get Rex and Hip G to hide themselves away.
For sure.
Hillary remains non-responsive. This is when I noticed this crooked frame. It conceals a letter simply addressed to Pa.
I hate it here, behind these locked doors and barred windows. I'm coming home soon. I can promise you that. I've heard I have a little brother now. I can't wait to bash his brains in.
It's clear at this point that we are in the very home of the Ripper, and it's increasingly apparent they have every intention of killing again. The shape pierces the shadow, and the threat is realized. We need to get Rex and get out of this place, now. But where is he? The Halloween decoration triggers downstairs. The shape is hunting. Rex is missing. It's coming upstairs. Hide. Is it safe? The news report and subsequent epilogue describes the events.
Breaking news. This just in. It seems that there were a string of killings tonight in a quiet neighborhood off the boulevard. This is just hours after it was reported that a handful of inmates at the state asylum had escaped. It is confirmed that one of the escapees was none other than Vic Matherson, more infamously known as the Ding Dong Ditcher Ripper.
Hip G, Hillary, and even little Rex were slaughtered. Somehow, you managed to evade the same fate, but with your body and mind forever altered. Reloading to an earlier save, the Ripper stalks the house, and while Rex isn't in the wardrobe, there is a note on the floor. He has locked himself away somewhere secret, and hidden the key behind a painting. Unfortunately, the house is littered with them, and we'll have to be careful to find it while avoiding the killer. This rather ominous piece on the first floor holds the key, and unlocks the crawl space upstairs. Rex will climb onto your back, and now we need to make a break for the front door.
I'm sorry.
And thus we have survived, managed to save everyone, and earned their reverence. Dr. Pleasant remarks on our endurance of the situation. He readily offers his help regarding possible trauma, but his enthusiasm soon wavers. There is an uneasy realization that the man he has studied and obsessed over for 10 years is gone.
He has been my life's obsession for so long now. I didn't want to do what I had to do.
You leave the crime scene and return to your apartment. In the grips of insomnia, the player resorts to medication prescribed by Dr. Pleasant. Then the doorbell tolls. But the peephole reveals nothing. The sound of shuffling is heard from inside the closet, but there's nothing there except this note that reads, "Answer me." You're submitted to the same asylum as your would-be attacker, suffering intense hallucinations. A chilling situation, exacerbated by the final lines. You feel strange, as if icy fingers are clawing at your brain during the long nights. Something is trying to reach you. Something is wanting you. This echoes the letter to Pa. She's calling to me every night. I can't sleep until I return. This concludes ending 3, but where is ending 2? Well, brace yourself, because things are about to get darker. Load in and set to work mercilessly butchering your friends, and even little Rex. Now when the killer shows up, your reaction isn't one of fear. It's closer to prideful disgust. Who dares to steal your murderous thunder? Making for the front door will spring Dr. Pleasant on us, who refuses to let the evil walk free.
You are even more vile than he was. Not again. Oh, damn, not again.
But evil can't be killed quite so easily. We awaken. Clinical walls all around, a body bag to our left, and the doctor directly ahead. His back towards us practically begs for the scalpel by our side. We oblige. The epilogue describes Dr. Pleasant's resilience as he survived your attack, and now you are the object of his obsession, one evil replaced by another. There's a lot of stones we've left unturned. The locked room on the bottom floor is still a mystery. The gun safe is still locked, and most importantly, we didn't get to smash.
What a turnoff.
To see all this and more, click the video on the left to watch me max out every stat in my complete walkthrough of the game, or click the video on the right to see the sex speedrun. A huge thank you to all of the wonderful members that are currently supporting the show. Don't worry, Postal will be back soon. Make sure you check out Puppet Combo's Patreon. There's definitely a few gems to be had.